Spiritual gangster video, spiritual gangster invitation without my spiritual gangster shirt. I've only got one. I can't wear it every day. I should get 7, one for every day of the week because I like it. So here's the spiritual gangster stuff in the spiritual gangster invitation. It's going to be about money. And right off the bat, spiritual gangsters, they know that the truly rich measure their wealth by their time, not their money. But there's a relationship between time and money. Spiritual gangsters also realize that there is a relationship between the spirit and the physical body, mind, body, and spirit. So remember that. Now here's the invitation. In August of 2007, I turned a couple $100 into a couple $100,000 and more since then. I had no idea what the flip I was doing. I had made some really poor decisions up until that point. I bet you've changed your mind about things before where you started making different decisions yesterday versus today. I bet you've learned new things, something new you've learned over the course of your life. You've probably done it many, many, many times. There's a reason this is important that I'm talking about this. Because right now you're like, what the flip is Tom talking about? All right. You've proven that you can make different decisions. You've proven you can change your mind. You've proven that you are fully capable of learning new things. What I'm getting at, if you're interested, you can turn a couple $100 into a couple $100,000, a couple million, because you're capable of learning new things and you're capable of making different decisions today than you did yesterday. You're capable of drawing lines in the sand to turn over a new leaf and start doing something different and to start thinking differently. For many of you, that first step is actually thinking differently about money. Spiritual gangsters know that money can be used to heal the planet or to pollute the planet. Now here's what money means for me personally. 2 big things, and maybe you're going to resonate. This is the part where you're going to resonate big time. So money is 2 things. 1, my freedom. This goes back to the truly rich knows that real wealth is with your time, not your money. But the truly rich also realizes that there's a relationship between time and money, like I said earlier. And what I mean by that is that if you have passive income, which is what I did, passive and residual income starting in August of 2007 to turn that couple hundred into a couple 100,000 and more since then, passive money. What that means is that at this point now, money pours in regardless of how I spend my time. I don't need to do anything. No longer living underneath the thumb of anybody that can tell me what to do, like a boss or a banker, because I fired my boss in February of 2010. I'm a free human being. Got my time. I'm covered financially. Passive money and time, the relationship is freedom. Job money and time, the relationship is slavery. Spiritual gangsters, in my personal opinion, are exiting the slavery game and they're stepping into freedom. And the only freedom that exists after freedom of the mind, you cannot have financial freedom if you don't obtain freedom of the mind first. Thankfully, you've got complete control over your own brain, so you can decide you're going to have freedom of the mind in an instant. And then you can transition into obtaining financial freedom and personal freedom so that you've got freedom of your time, because that's how you measure your true wealth is your time, not your money. But the passive money, the relationship between passive money and time is your freedom. Do you understand how that works conceptually? It's really important. And it's something that isn't, I'm not putting down college, but it's something that is not taught in a formal education. I've been there, never heard it. I don't know anybody that's ever heard it in a formal education. So it is what it is. So my invitation for you is, if you're eager, not just open, everybody's open, right? Everybody says they're open, but if you're eager and anxious and willing and you want to learn about this kind of passive money so that you can have your freedom, then ask me for this video that I've got about a training course that I created based on everything I've learned, called 30 Days to Profit and Repeat. Just ask me for it. I'll share it with you. It's actually a how-to video. I have a presentation one too, because some people prefer presentation style videos, but I'm finding many more people just want to see how it's done. So I've actually got a video where I recorded myself on doing the things that I teach that generate the passive income. And it took me 2.5 years, me personally. Some people that doesn't take as long, other people it takes longer, but 2.5 years of doing stuff in my precious minutes of spare time. That's another thing I didn't have, was any free time. I had stuff to figure out. You've got stuff to figure out and to overcome. So I didn't know what I was doing. I had no skills. I had no time. I had to learn and I had to figure stuff out, just as you can too. You've proven you can do it. We already established that earlier. You've proven that you can learn new things, make different decisions, and figure stuff out. Okay, so that's not the problem. So that's it. Okay, if you want to see that video, the how-to, I made it. Just ask for it. And if it looks good to you, we can do it. And if it doesn't look like your thing, find something else, and that's fine. But at least take a look at it. Because I'm teaching people how to build their own passive income so that eventually they'll get to a place where it is so passive they don't have to do anything anymore. Like, they could take the year off and the money's going to come rolling in anyway. In fact, their money could go up. I mean, imagine that, taking a year off, and that year you actually had a bigger paycheck than the year prior when you were working. That happens. It's one of the beauties of a passive income. So anyway, oh yeah, the second thing, forgot about that earlier. So freedom. The second thing, I have a philanthropist heart. There are so many causes I like to be able to do more for all my life. My heart bled. My heart still bleeds, but at least I'm able to do more now for causes that my heart bleeds for. Like getting people cured of cancer through places like Gerson, who are curing people of cancer through nature, not medical treatment. And so I donate money to them. And the King's Ransom Foundation, they deal with causes that need to be dealt with. Human trafficking is actually still around. Children's sex slave rings. King's Ransom rescues those kids. They get my donation money. And every dollar goes to the cause. They have corporate sponsors that covers their overhead. Every dollar I send, every dollar you send, if you want to, goes to the cause of rescuing those kids and feeding kids who are starving to death, and taking care of the elderly whose kids have forsaken them, and taking care of kids whose families have been martyred in different places in the world. So I can do a lot of stuff. I also buy up a lot of houses, multi-unit houses, and I provide them to families that don't make a lot of money. And being able to live in a place that is totally clean and nice and affordable to them without having a lot of money, without threatening their ability to put food on the table and feed their families. So I'm doing a lot of that too. And I don't take any of the profits. I roll the little bit of cash flow those properties make, 100% rolls back into itself to help more families. I can do these things now because of this passive and residual income. Starting off with a couple $100, turning it into a couple $100,000. It's like, sounds like too good to be true, except it's not. It's happened. It's even cooler than that now because it's a lot more than a couple $100,000 since then. But that's how it started. And if you're skeptical about this, then, just wait until you're ready. I don't know what else to say. Because I said no for 3 months when I was first invited. So, I mean, as stupid as it is to be skeptical, I understand because I was there. But then I started making a different decision. And so, whatever, whenever you're ready. And for those of you that are already feeling inspired and curious, just ask me for that video about the how-to video about the 30 days to profit. And if it turns you on, we'll do it. If it doesn't, you don't have to do it. So that's my video. That's my message. Hope you dig it. Share this if you know somebody who you think would like this. Even if you're not into it, maybe you know somebody who is. We need more philanthropists that have more to be able to do more and give more. And it would be nice if more people lived in freedom too. Freedom and philanthropy. That's what money means for me. Those two big things. Okay, off the cuff video, totally unscripted. If it were scripted, maybe it would have been a little more organized. But you know what? If it's interesting, hopefully you made it all the way through and you got everything that you needed. You might also like my website too if you dig this. It's fireyourboss.xyz, not .com.xyz. It really is a website. Fireyourboss.xyz. Poke around. If you dig this video, you'll probably dig that website. I've got thousands of pieces of content, all to do with health, healing, happiness, freedom, including financial freedom, philanthropy, a lot of stuff about that. That's what my heart bleeds for. That's who I am. And you might dig it. Thousands of pieces of content. I work for free. Don't have a job. Don't want a job. It's one of the coolest things I get to say. And I'm going to teach you how to transition into that. Okay? No matter how busy you are. It's just, we've all got something we got to figure out and overcome. It's just one of those things. It's a common thing, not having any time. But most people don't even get started on figuring that out. So therefore, year after year, they never have any time. It's crazy to me. But it is what it is. If you're open, realize that you've learned new things in the past. You've figured stuff out before. You've overcome. Let's do it in a way that actually lines up with you getting some freedom for yourself and being able to do more of a philanthropist's heart's work, if that turns you on. I'll hear from quite a few of you real soon. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.